Okay, let me adjust my mic. I think I'm live. So I'm going to go ahead and start the 5 minutes of fame. Right, the 5 minutes of fame is what you have 5 minutes to drop your city and state, or just say hello. So let me put my timer on. If you are new to my channel, if this is your first time watching me, viewing me, uh, I am known as the Queen of Credit, right? Because of the results that I get in the credit or cash flow world to help you move your credit from bad to better and from better to good, right? From better to good. And so, Martin, you are the first in, right? You are the first. Hello, Martin from Detroit, Michigan. It's in the house, right? The 313, Martin had to let me know what the 313 was. And as you all are coming in, I'm going to ask you to do um, one thing for me and hit that like button. YouTube likes that algorithm and it will inform other people that I am live. So take times to just exit out the live stream and hit the like button. Hello from ATL is in the house. Let me put my speaker on. ATL. David Smith, hello to you. Right. Thanks for joining. I think you're from Dallas, Texas, right? Gwen says she's the second. If Martin is the first, Gwen says she's the second. We have Patrick Dix. Thank you so much, Patrick, for your kind words every time you come in. All right, he lets me know hello um, and blessings and greetings to me. We have Miami, Florida, Nyla in the house. Eric O from DFY, Texas. It's in the house. Hello, Derek. We have Kendra from Michigan, Westland, Michigan on Facebook. Hello, Kendra. I'm sorry, Gwen from Dallas, Texas, right? Some of these I'm going to know because you are faithful, subscribe, and you hit the bell notification button. Nurse, PN, LPN. I've been watching for a while coming. Yeah, thank you for joining the live stream. I'm tuning in live from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Alabama. Lawrenceville, Georgia. Hello, Angela from Lawrenceville. All right, we have 2 minutes and 30 seconds in counting. 5 minutes of fame. We have Darnell Anthony from DC. Hello, Darnell. Thanks for tuning in. Again, I'm known as the Queen of Credit. If this is your first time, I'm transforming bad credit to better, right? And good credit to great. And then after your credit is repaired, right, give you a revision for your credit to use capital, right, from credit to invest and not use credit to consume. Use credit to get capital, right, and not use credit to consume. Hello, Cassandra from Birmingham is in the house. We have two Birminghams back to back. We have Cassandra and LaQuinta Carr. LaQuinta Carr, hello from Birmingham. Patrick says I look fabulous. Look, Patrick, I just have on a camo army fatigue on tonight. I am so tired. I am so tired. I have my water with me and everything. But it's just so much going on today. I decided to do a live stream tonight in the economy. But thank you so much, Patrick. Um, Don Daniels from Lake Traps, Washington. I'm sorry. Lake Traps, Washington. Hello, Don. Beautiful profile picture as well. Never heard of Lake Traps, Washington. I enjoy meeting people and greeting people from all areas of the United States and sometimes out of the States, right? From St. Helena, South Carolina, Proactive Security Professional Michael. Hello, Michael. Thank you for joining in the live stream, right? From Proactive Security. Hello, Michael Marshall. Thank you so much. Jesus from the Philippines, also known as California, is in the house. As I have 10 seconds and counting. And I also write Jesus help people turn great credit into cash flow. More for the 313 is just terrible. More. But thank you as my time has expired. We have, is it Spokane, Washington on Periscope? Hello, Shanita. And Charlotte, North Carolina is in the house. Hello, Marion Jones, right? Gwen, my queen from Dallas, Texas, thank you so much. I already starting off and I haven't dropped any knowledge yet or educational information, but she started out with a $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Gwen, my queen from Dallas, Texas. Still have some people coming in. Anthony, hello, Anthony for St. Louis. Anthony Gillard. We have Anthony from St. Louis and two people from St. Louis. Hold on. I clicked on the wrong thing. We have Anthony from St. Louis and Melvin, both from St. Louis, right? Oh, thanks. Jesus says, thanks for the donation. You did it on a very strong live stream. No pressure, Jesus. Jesus said a very strong live stream. I have so much for you all tonight. I didn't know what to make the topic of this live stream. I just said, look, I had about 3 or 4 topic choices and I couldn't decide. I said, look, I'm just going to make this called Everything That's Going to Go Wrong in the Economy in 30 Days. How about that? And how to help you come back there. Because it was just so much information that I read today. And I just did not know where to start. So we're going to get it right into this. St. Louis. Miriam, oh my God, you all are coming in with the $20 super chat. Another $20 super chat, $20 super chat. Thank you so much. I'm going to make this worth a while. I'm sorry, Martin. He says 314. Okay, I got you. I just said 313. So 314 is representing. The 314 is representing from Detroit, right? Detroit, Michigan. And he says the Louis is the 314. I got you. So the 313, right? Ronnie is in the house from Raleigh. I think that's Raleigh, North Carolina. Welcome in. And Carla, also from Michigan, is in the house. Also from Michigan. Patrick says, what is a great home-based business to start? Patrick, my king, you always call me a beautiful sister. I always promote the home-based business that I'm affiliated with and enrolled in because it's a strategy, financial strategies business and not a sales business, right? I always like strategies versus sales, right? Sales meaning I don't like people to have products that they have to pay for upfront, right? I give people financial education so they can immediately see a financial return on their investment. So the home-based business that I'm affiliated with, that I help people with, is MWR Financial, right? So it's the 313. I thought I said the 313. Right, Martin? I thought I said the 313. I thought I did. So we have Louisville, Texas in the house. Hello, Louisville, Wonder Woman. We have Easy. Take it easy. From Beaufort, Georgia. Hello, Easy from Georgia. The dirty South, right? We're Southern, well, we are Southern and not country, right? Good evening to you. All right. Katina Mason. Mark says Gwen, and thank you all. Yeah, thank you all so much for those super chats. Let's get into that. Is it smart, right? Is it smart to take Trump's deferral tax cuts? If so, when will you pay it back? That's a great question. Let's start there. I had so much overwhelming information to give you all. So let's start with that question. Let's talk about the payroll tax cut. Let me pull that article up. And let me see. I'm trying to figure out how I can make. Okay, I got it. Good. It might be too large. I'm going to enlarge the screen to 125. Let's share. Let's start here. Gwen, I see your question. Gwen, the answer to that is yes. You can start this home-based business only using your cell phone for the time being. Yes, you can. Right? Yes, you can. You definitely can. So let's get right into the question about, do I think it's smart to take Trump's deferral tax cut? Let's get right into that. Since that was the first question of the night, because I have a lot, right? I can share with you all. I have a lot about what's going on in this economy, but I have answers and solutions as well, right? Answers and solutions as well. So workers will see smaller paychecks next year under Trump's payroll tax deferral, right? So let's get right into that. Let me see if I need to enlarge this. Okay. So it goes on to say, this article was released August 31st. The goal of President Trump's executive memorandum on payroll tax deferral is to get more money into the pockets of Americans this year. But this moves also mean the same workers, listen to this, will get smaller paychecks for the first 4 months. 4 months in 2021, right? On Friday, the IRS, Internal Revenue Service, and the Treasury Department told employers that they will be liable to pay back what they defer from their employees' paychecks under the executive memo. So workers will face, listen at this, workers will face a huge tax bill when they file their tax returns, right? Let me blow this up for you. When they file their 2020, I want you all to know this. If you accept this, you're going to have to face a huge tax bill when they file their tax returns in 2020. To accomplish this, employers will take double the Social Security out of employees' paychecks in their first 4 months. Listen at this. Double the Social Security paychecks in the first 4 months of 2021 to pay Uncle Sam for the amount deferred until the end of 2020. So this deferment is supposed to take place beginning September and the last fiscal day of December of 2021, right? So if you accept this, you're going to be doubled in tax in the first 4 months, January, February, March, April of 2021, to pay Uncle Sam for the amount deferred at the end of 2020, right? Essentially, employees are going to notice, listen at this, that their net pay is going to be reduced next year, right? Your net pay is going to be reduced next year in roughly equal amounts to what was increased in September through December, right? So I love this article. But the employers are saying that they strongly dislike this, right? Because they gave them exactly one business day to respond. One business day to respond. And so let me look at my questions. Yes, we're gonna start with Trump's payroll tax, right? Carla says, can I opt out? Yes, you can, Carla, and actuality, your employer should be educating you on this. And what are the ramifications or the pros and cons of doing this? So you can opt out, right? You can opt out of this. And I usually don't advise people, but in this case, I would highly advise you to do exactly that, right? Many employers are saying you just gave them one business day to respond. And it says that the guidance puts pressure on employers. The deferral was supposed to begin today, right? September 1st and run through the end of the year, according to his action. But because the guidance came out so late, employers won't be able to implement this immediately, right? That notice coming out on 5 o'clock on Friday, exactly one business day to respond. Keep in mind, employers run their payrolls well in advance of payday. So September payroll was being run exactly last week, right? So I had let me see if this was the exact article. I have so many articles to share with you all tonight. So make sure you hit that thumbs up. I can to notify people about this information. But it says your employer is required, or they should educate you all about what will happen in this paycheck this year. If you do choose the deferral, so there was no surprises, right? So there are no surprises. So let me look at these questions. Sometimes I get so behind. Yes, you can opt out. It does not apply to retired people. To people that's maybe just receiving Social Security already. So no, it doesn't. It only applies to people who are currently receiving paychecks and currently employed, right? So according to NERSA Act, the IRS is going to destroy. We're on the Republic and not the Federal Reserve. The IRS is the Federal Reserve, Patrick. They're the same. The IRS and the Federal Reserve are the same. So I do have an article to share with you that gives you the exact chart and the breakdown of the tax liability. So let's go into that. The exact breakdown, the exact chart. And you don't understand the exact, all of the research and the reading that goes into bringing you all this information. So let's go back to it. Okay. Employees ask, do I want to do this, right? Employees are asking, do I want to do this? So let's break it down. I think this is to defer 6.2% payroll tax that employees pay each pay period into the old age, which means survivors disability insurance fund starts September 1st. Again, ending December 1st. So that doesn't excuse your tax, right? So let's break down the numbers. Someone that earns maybe $8.25 an hour, that work 40 hours a week, their pay period Their gross pay will be $334. Then you look at Social Security and Medicare taxes out of that check, which brings their net pay to $292, right? $292. So this person is receiving, let me see, approximately, it's not much tax out of this paycheck, right? Only about $40, right? $40. So what it would entail is, this is a person making $8.25 at McDonald's. Like, this is an example of $8.25. So the executive order said that those making less, right, than $4,000 in a biweekly period can defer their payroll taxes, which is less. So in essence, if you're making less than $104,000 a year, right, $104,000 annual a year. However, they later said that the income maximum was $100,000, right? So let's just say the maximum is $100,000, and the deferral could be up to $6,448, right? If your gross income is $100,000 or less, right, then it's $6,448. So let's look at the actual chart, a breakdown. Let me find an article for you all of what that would look like. Let me see if I can find an article like this, because it gave the actual chart breakdown. And that's the one I'm looking for. Okay, I think I found it. Let me make sure you go back to my questions. Patrick says that the cracks control the IRS. Patrick, you have to know exactly who makes up the Rothschild, the Rockefellers, the rich entities of the United States control the IRS. Rich families are the makeup of the IRS, right? So if you haven't read, you need to read The Creature of Jekyll Island to know who actually controls the IRS. Right, so I don't know, the cracks or Democrats or whatever you're saying. And that's what people think. They think they're paying their hard-earned money to the government, but you're making somebody else's family's generational wealth rich. One of the books I recommend you all read by Sherry Peel Jackson is How to Stick It to the IRS, so you can know the formation of what the federal government and IRS is. And if you knew, right, then you definitely wouldn't give 30 to 40% of your paycheck to the IRS. So Sherry Peel Jackson, I have some people from Detroit on the 313. I'm correct. She's from Detroit, Michigan. She wrote her story of how she was actually arrested and jailed and imprisonment for educating people about who the true IRS is. She said in mid-1999, people started asking her questions about the income tax being either unconstitutional, right, or was it a fraudulent account? So it was, because you all do know that it wasn't until 1933, right, until income tax was lawful in the United States. It has not been around for the beginning of time, right? And so definitely this is a book you need to read to get your financial education. So Thank you, Jesus, so much. And Easy says, oh, thank you so much. Yep. And hello, Ronald. It said everyone making less than hundreds of thousands. Right, correct. Um, Easy said breaking news. CDC house evictions if you received stimulus check earlier this year. This how wow. Wow, Easy. I haven't looked at that or read that today, but that is terrible. If that's true, I'll try to Google it if I have time. It's just so much information came out today. But it says CDC house evictions if you received stimulus checks earlier this year. This halt will last until December 31st, but you must repay. Wow. So according to Easy, and I haven't researched this, if you took the deferral and you receive a stimulus, he's saying that they're defaulting evictions or halting evictions, which means you can be evicted, right? Right. Why is that great, Ronald? Ronald said that's great. Oh, okay. Ronald said this. I don't know. It's not great for the landlords, though. Must repay our rent and interest. Evictions hurt everyone: the renter, the owner, the banks. No one wins. I don't think evictions hurt the bank. I don't think evictions hurt the banks because you ought to understand. Even when you get an FHA loan, right? You're already paying upfront insurance on that on that property. So the banks already have their money, right? The banks already have their money upfront. So when they get it for, even if they have to hold it for a couple of weeks until another renter comes in or another landlord repurchases the property, they make their money 10 times over, right? They make their money 10 times over. So when a lot of people say evictions hurt the bank, right? Um, it's no hurt. The banks make their money double time, right? So the banks needed the products, right? Um, Carissa, I text you. I was trying to look at your credit profile. You did not text me back. You did not text me back, Carissa. So I'm glad you're alive. And you're right. The banks rarely lose money. Actually, real estate is overpriced anyway. It has been for a matter of years, right? Okay, we'll look. No, I text you. I didn't want an email. I wanted a text. I text you. I text your phone. But I know you emailed me back, but I text you. I needed that code, and you didn't text me back. So, all right. So Trump says he would forgive tax. Let's get back into that. So, our workers will see smaller paychecks next year under Trump's tax deferral, right? I think I read this. I'm looking for the chart that I had. I had a great, I think this is the one I just shared with you all. Let me find that chart. I had one that really gave a breakdown and uh, of exactly what the paychecks would look like, right, under those new changes. I think this is it. All right. I think it was by CNBC. Let's see if this was it. CNBC. Yeah, real estate has been overpriced for a long time, right? A long time. So you're already paying double for what the houses are worth, right? Hello, Eric. Oh, yeah, you are. Way overpriced. Way overpriced. All right, so the payroll tax, what it means for September the 1st, what it really means for your paycheck. Again, the executive order to defer, listen to the language, defer 6.2. Defer does not mean deplenish or delete, right? Towards the Social Security from September 1st, September 31st. It emphasizes again, this is only a deferral, not a forgiveness, people, right? Not a forgiveness. The IRS issued guidance last week, placing the responsibility on employers for collecting the tax deferred. It must be paid. Listen at this. It must be paid by April 30th, 2021, or else penalties, interest, and other taxes will apply. So again, oftentimes I don't just come on here and give financial advice, but I'm telling you right now, it's for everybody, employers, employees alike. Now, if you are an employee who partake in the payroll tax deferral and would enjoy the temporary boost in your take-home pay, right, for the remainder of the year, you will see smaller paychecks early next year. In January 2021, if you decide to do this, as employers withhold and pay the deferred to the IRS, right? So workers who participate in President Donald Trump's payroll tax deferral will see a temporary, listen to the language, increase in their take-home pay, but they're less likely, or they'll likely see smaller paychecks in 2021. So today was supposed to mark the first day of Trump's payroll tax deferral for employees, which he handed down an executive order in early August. The holiday is in effect until the end of the year. Employers and employees split the responsibility. And this is why I tell people all the time, your biggest expense is not your mortgage. It's not that vehicle. It's not that credit card. Even though some of you out have credit card at 16% interest rate, which I highly do not recommend, right? But it's saying, right? Exactly, Jesus. It is saying, pay attention to the language. You're right. Deferred penalties, interest, etc. That the responsibility for a combined 12.4%, right? And Social Security, and an additional 2.9% that supports Medicare. The Social Security tax is subject to an annual adjustment wage up to $137,700 in 2020, but Medicare tax is assessed beyond that threshold, right? So it is stating that his executive order, again, is for employees whose biweekly pay every 2 weeks is $4,000 on pre-tax. This is before taxes. So if you earn $4,000 before taxes every 2 weeks, this applies to you, right? Or at least under $100,000 a year annually, right? Companies that do this, if your employer do this, between they must pay the tax back between January 1st and April 30th. So a lot of employers are not going to opt in or going to do this, but I've heard that federal employees have no choice, right? If you're a federal. And so if you are a company employer that's doing this, your penalties, interest, and additions to tax will begin on May 1st, right? So if you're Your employer or company may make arrangement to collect the taxes from the employee. The big issue is employees are going to be employers are going to be completely responsible for the repayment. So they get all the responsibility. So a lot of employers are like, we don't want to do this, right? They don't want to opt out to do this. And they got very little notice and very little time to prepare. So let me find the bracket breakdown. It says a minimum wage employee who's working full-time and earning about $580 every 2 weeks pay period. Listen to this, could or would lose about half of their paycheck if all deferral taxes were paid at once. So again, I am very highly recommending that no one participate in this. This is not going to be good for the employer or the employee, right? And I had a chart breakdown. Some reason I cannot find it. I have so many articles, and maybe I will find it later on. Trying to look. And let me look one more time while I'm on the topic because I like to stay on topic. But let me see if this article is breaking it down because it had a chart. I have several articles that really let you know by the income status, right, how much you will be responsible for the payback. Okay, here it goes. Thank God. I didn't want to come back to it, but let me read some of the comments as I found it. Yes, taxes are your biggest expense. Exactly, Gwen. From Texas. Taxes is taxes is the reason why we stay living from paycheck to Monday. That's so true. Right? Yeah. You're right, Carissa. 20, 21, 25 would definitely be a rough couple of years to come for most people. And Carissa, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna blast you out. I'm gonna blast you real quick. You did text me back at 8:37, honey, but it was too late. So I'm gonna text you again tomorrow. I see the text, it just came through at 8:37. So just be looking for my text message tomorrow. At least by, let me see, what time I get started with credit? 9 Central Standard Time, right? 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Look for a text. I need that 6-digit code. Trump will get richer. Democrats will get richer. Multi-millionaires, millionaires, billionaires, all of them will get richer. Jeff Bezos has become the richest so far, right? So it's not just Trump, right? Thank you, Maureen. Just know you have to save yourself. No elected official is going to save you at this time, right? You're welcome, Carissa. I see you. All right, so let's share this. This is the chart that I was looking for that I wanted to really show you all, right? That I really, really want to show you all. This is like a bracket breakdown stating, for example, if your income level is $35,000 a year, right, and your biweekly pay is $1,346. This is your gross, and your increase from this payroll tax per period, right, every 2 weeks will be $83.46. if you accept this, if you opt into this, your tax bill, right, based off of 9 pay periods, because it ends December 31st, listen at this, will be $751. That's an income of $35,000. Listen at this, will be $751. That's my echo. So if your income is $50,000 annually, your gross bi-weekly is $1,923.08. You will see an increase, right? Every paycheck of $119.23. However, come April 2021, your tax bill due will be $1,073.08. Okay. The next category, if your income is $75,000, right? Your gross biweekly pay is $2,884.62. Your increased pay, you will multiply this by 2 for your monthly, is $178.85. However, your tax bill will be $1,609.62. So for an income of gross of $104,000, your biweekly pay, and this is just a breakdown of biweekly, right? You could get paid monthly. You can get paid $8,000 a month, right? Or you can get paid biweekly $4,000. You will receive, right, an additional $248. So that's almost $500 extra every month to December 31st. But then your tax bill will be, right, $2,232 in 2021. And so it states that by Steve Mnuchin, he says, not only is the payroll executive order surrounded by uncertainty as it applies to application and implementation, it creates a substantial tax liability for employees, not only the employer, but your employer, not only your company, but for you at the end of the deferral period, right? This is a deferral of tax due. And without congressional action to forgive the payroll tax, it threatens to impose serious hardship on you, consumers, employees, who will face a large tax bill at the end of the deferral period. Right? So I hope that chart helped you all out. I'm glad I found it. Tremendously so you can know. Gwen says, I'm calling my employer in the morning. I need out of this tax. Well, Gwen, I don't know if you work for a federal institution. For federal people, I heard that it's like non-negotiable, right? But that's why I tell people, if you're a federal employee, or if you're a person that may be really at the point where you really, really need, let's say you just really, really, then go ahead. Let me shift this. Go ahead and get you a home-based business. You're going to have the extra money. You can't tell me you're going to have the extra income. And so go ahead and, get your home-based business, right? So you can, as I try to adjust it, so you can have 475 tax deductions, and you're not taxed by, your taxable income or what you owe back will be less, because as an employee, right, you have only 15 tax deductions to claim deductions. But with a home-based business, and this is one of the things that this book discusses or educates you about, you get 475. So it's nothing wrong with getting more money in your paycheck. The issue with most people, and there's nothing wrong with getting taxed less, but you got to shift, you got to move to this side of the bracket so you're not owing. See, the rich and wealthy people, they make more money and they keep more of the money that they make as well, right? But they often move the money they make into a passive income strategy versus an employee or self-employed or solo or specialist, right? Tax category. Because let me try to make this simple and plain. If you work a job and you fill out a W-2, or you have a 1099 and you are self-employed, you're solo, independent contractor, et cetera, you are taxed the highest tax bracket. And that's why, let me fix this. The rich and wealthy, right, get taxed less, and they understand the tax codes. They understand the laws. They understand how to use debt. Sorry for this change, you all. I'm trying to fix my green screen so they know how to use debt to get rich, right? Cool kid, Dwight says, my southern accent is too cool. I know. I got you, cool kid. I know it. I know. Can't help it where you were born and raised, right? Angela said in 2021, you're actually paying double, right? But you have some people that cannot say, I don't want this. You have federal employees that have to accept this. And you are actually, to be honest with you, a lot of people, they've increased the age to receive Social Security. From 62 to 65. Most people, when they start receiving Social Security for the amount that they are taxed out of their paychecks, they never get that rate of return, right? It's never a good rate of return. And so Social Security, SSI, never pays you back the years of labor as an employee, the amount that you get taxed and taken out of it, right? And so I would tell people, especially if you are federal employees, that if you don't have a choice, if you don't have an option, to just go ahead and use the extra money and invest in a home-based business so you can get more tax deductions and your tax liability won't be high, right? Your tax liability won't be high. And Gwen and Martin, you all stopped it. And also you get opportunity to make passive income for educating people about their financial strategies anyway, right? And so that's just my advice to you all, especially if you're a federal employee, right? This is what you need to do. So let's get back to some more breaking news. How about this? 50,000 people, right? 50,000 people will receive a stimulus check in September. What about that? 50,000 people will receive a stimulus check. Give me a second. And I'm sorry, September. I think I said November. All right. See if I can stop all these pop-ups. I don't want them limited. This was released. Give me 1 second. Okay, now I can go back. Camara said, if I start a business this month and do P&L reports this year, yeah, you still will qualify. You still will qualify. If you start a business this month and let's say you have no choice or you really do need and you're getting the extra money in, you still will qualify for those deductions going to 2021. Yes, you will. Okay, so let's go into 50,000 people. We'll receive a stimulus in September. How do I stop this thing? Okay. While the second round of economic impact remains on the back burner due to Congress' inability to pass a new relief package, 50,000 people who did not receive a payment from the first round will receive a check sometime, let's say sometimes, right, in September. The IRS and Jesus again, I think he brought this to my attention. He said, Queen, there's a lot of people who still haven't received the first stimulus. I was like, wow. So the IRS will begin mailing checks in early to mid-September, right, to individuals whose portion of the economic impact payment was deferred to pay their spouses, right, past due child support. Under this new aid, relief and economic, under the CARES Act, $2,400 of payments were made eligible to couples filing jointly with incomes under $150,000. However, that money could not be received or intercepted, right, if a person was past due on their child support obligation. If one spouse was behind on a payment, right, the other could not file an injured spouse with the IRS, which allows the person to retain their share of their joint refund. So eligible spouses who submitted that form, along with their 2019 and 2018 federal tax returns, who did not take any action to receive their portion of the economic impact payment, according to the IRS. Those who did not file an injured spouse, so you have to file an injured spouse, right, form in order to receive it. So if you did, you will receive your portion, right, of the payment automatically. I know the IRS does not have a time frame. So for the people that already filled out the form, they're going to get their payments supposedly this month, 50,000 people. You have to file an injured spouse return. However, if you have not filed that, you will receive your portion automatically, but it's just not a time frame at this point, right, for that. So just know, if you are married and you file jointly, and your spouse owes that child support, you can fill out an injured spouse form to get your portion, right? And some people that already made those moves will or should, according to Newsweek, receive their portions sometime this month. So this is for and it's 50,000 people who will be affected. This is not an update on the second stimulus. This is about the first stimulus, right? So this impacted and affected 50,000 people. But that is some good news, right, for those people that may desperately need it. Hello, Long Beach. Hello. Easy say, I used to have a home-based business. Okay. Herman. Okay, Herman, I will check the email tomorrow. Mimosa, let me know what your email address is. I'll see if I received that email. Herman, you ready to move forward? Shoot me another email. Let me know. Just I receive so many emails and messages and everything. So just shoot me another email. Mar says this channel is awesome. I had to pay partial tuition. Mar. Okay. Mariah, I don't know if your son is married, right? And maybe some back child support, but this is for people that's married and maybe didn't receive it to back child support or child support issues. Okay. Now, let's look into this third topic, right? So much going on. So much going on. Credit cards closed due to inactivity, causing people credit scores. You all know I love, love, love the topic of credit. Closing to 75 points. Oldest cards, I'm just going to give you some tips about those credit cards. Okay, my oldest credit card was closed due to inactivity. People try to keep some activity going on your credit card, right? Try to keep some activity going on with your credit card. It says, I learned the hard way, the banks can close your credit cards if you go too long without using them. Now, some people, because of Capital One, that was not the situation, beyond your control, but Capital One is also having a lot of banking issues as well, right? I also know that Capital One also lends to a lot of subprime lenders. That means people with average credit scores, maybe between a 600 to 680. Those are the clients that Capital One, through their unsecured credit cards, will oftentimes take on. I don't like unsecured credit cards. I prefer if you got primary trade lines with department store cards for $5,000 and then apply for secured credit cards, right? But however, in this Business Insider story, this person or customer opened credit cards just because of the 0% interest rates, stating that the oldest card collected dust for about a year. They only discovered that the card had been closed after seeing the credit score dropping by 75 points, right? And then when they looked into what happened, right, this is why the score dropped. So just know, people, the length of your credit history and your credit utilization rate together accounts for 45% of your FICO score, right? And if you know, your FICO score is your true credit score. So just try to use those dormant accounts. I know sometimes we get our credit up and we look at new credit cards and better offers, and we utilize those for the moment. But if it's only just small transactions that you can do to keep your oldest cards open, please do that, right? And so especially your oldest cards, because it counts so much into your credit score percentage-wise, right? Percentage-wise, the older your credit cards, and usually I'm saying credit cards because your older accounts on your credit scores are usually your student loans. You get those really early. Even though I don't like student loan debt, I hate student loan debt to be exact. But those are usually, and then when you go to college, sometimes they have your credit cards and your lenders already set up, right, to give you your first credit card. But if you have a great credit education, if you're young, or if you have your child as an authorized user, right, one of the great things about him or her establishing a credit card at an early age into college is they can do like I did. My very first investment property was purchased through a credit card. I had a Discover card. I got the card at college. I had balance transfer checks. My old junior high school principal and his wife lived in a home. They have upgraded, right? They began to make six-figure income. The house was really nice, a patio. I got the house at a really great deal. I negotiated for $5,000. I purchased or invested in cards and sheets, how to invest in real estate with zero money down, right? And can I be transparent with you all? Can I tell you a secret? Can I tell you all a secret? Thank you, King. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Jesus. Yeah, I can't wait to get to California to see you, but that's gonna happen one day, right? Can't wait till that happens. So thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being a moderator for the channel. Thank you for answering the questions. Thank you for blocking the haters. And thank you for religiously going on when I'm going live. Since day one, since it's been 10 people or 5 people on the live stream. So thank you again as well. But this was my plan for cards and sheets, right? I was out of a job. I was straight out of college. I wanted to teach and coach. Didn't have a lot of coaching jobs available. And I saw this commercial come on. It said, this is cards and sheets, zero real estate, $0 down. And I was newly married at the time. My daughter was, had my daughter at 21. And I said, okay, this is my plan, right? I'm going to get this program because I can get 30 days money back guarantee, right? I was going to pimp the system, right? I was going to pimp the system and I was going to, study real hard for 30 days and I was going to send it back so I wouldn't be charged for it. But I read and researched day in, day night, and I found the property, right? I just uploaded a video by Robert Kiyosaki on my channel. You all need to use that. Really watch that. It's less than 5 minutes. He said, you're going to have to use debt to get rich, to become rich, right? You're going to have to use debt to become rich. And so he talks about his very first investment property, his very first condo. He didn't have the money. It was $18,000. It was on the beach in Hawaii. And he needed 18% down payment, right? Also, she just watched it. 18% down payment of $18,000, right? And he used his credit card to invest his first property. He's a multimillionaire to get the $2,000 down payment. Right? So, yeah, you all get those likes up. Patrick, I don't think you heard what I just said. I just talked about how a multimillionaire, right, used credit or credit card to get his first investment property when he was not a multimillionaire. First cash flow of property. First great deal, right, to become where he is today. Everyone has a starting point. And so Patrick says the FICO credit system is based on computer math. The elite created the system to take wealth. No, I can't agree with you, Patrick. They didn't use this system to take wealth from people. They did not. Let me tell you something. I look over hundreds and thousands of credit scores. You won't believe the people who have a 30 to 50 point credit score decrease because they don't want or they didn't pay a $30 or $50 collection. Right? Okay, I stay on focus. Don't worry about it. I stay on focus, Ms. Smith. So at some point you have to look yourself in the mirror and say your credit score is low because of your behavior and your financial IQ. Right? A $50 collection that's worth a 30 or 50 point drop in your credit score. Right? And then you have some people who that is so focused on getting out of debt, right? They're so focused on getting out of debt that they don't take the time to learn how to use debt to invest. They've used debt to be consumers for so long, and they finally think, oh my God, if I can just pay this debt off and I can free up cash flow, right? My cash flow will be enough to invest, but you only make $50,000 a year. You only make $100,000 a year, right? And usually the higher people income is, when they think like a consumer, the higher their liabilities be. The bigger house they want, the better name brand vehicles they want, the more they want to go to the casino. Oh, I didn't say casino, did I? I'm sorry. See, people don't look at that. The more they want to gamble, the more they want to say, okay, well, let me just take a risk and I'll invest in stocks, but I won't invest in somebody's course to teach me how to trade, right? And the same people that go to the casino are the ones that don't believe in giving 10%. Most rich, if you read books about how to become a millionaire, they believe in giving 10% to a charitable organization, right? Or a nonprofit, right? I did say casino. Oh, I'm sorry. See, yeah, they forget about that in their low credit scores. They forget about that casino gambling habit. And then those be the same Christians that go to church and say they don't have 10% for the tithe. Yeah, let me get off of that. Because we're about to have credit church. They blow money. And then they come on here and complain about the Republicans and Democrats. They blow their money. They don't have any management system in place. They want everything for free. They don't want to invest in financial education. Right? Girl, listen, Mimosa. Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki's testimony was he took a course on real estate. It took him, what did he say? Was it 100 and months and months to find and researching hundreds of properties to find that one first investment property, right? And the property was at foreclosed, right? And he asked if he could use a credit card. Yeah, straight inside the casino, right? With a 500 credit score, and then they get on my live streams talking about the system is against them and what the Democrats and Republicans are doing. And why they deny the credit. But they pull that lever. You all, let's get on to the next hot topic. Thank you, Mimosa. 90 days. 90 days. Hundreds of rental properties, right? To find that one. Right? To find that one. Patrick says, I talked to a professor 20 years ago, told me it was created. You've done your research. So Patrick, answer this question for me. 20 years ago, since you talked to that one professor, one person, and if there was a professor, let me tell you this, they were broke, because I'm in education as well. Do you know how many professors teach business education that don't have a business? Doctorate degrees, don't have one business, but they teaching the theory in school. And they teach you that theory and they keep you broke. So instead of complaining about how FICO 10 was created in the 50s and 60s, learn how to leverage your FICO. Take the free videos that I provide, right? And then use the bank's money to invest, right? No excuses. No excuses. Right? No excuses here. This is the no excuse channel. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear the excuses. We're only talking about solutions. We're erasing. This is what I used to say in school I used to work at. We're erasing excuses and expecting excellence. Right? Shalita says, why do people don't sit and write out their money for tithes, bills, and savings, use the savings for investment, getting that credit? They don't want to. I had a person today, this is a little rant. A person today, right, Mimosa, you watched the video. They text me and said, Queen, all right, let's be transparent. Queen, I haven't seen any deletions off my credit report except the addresses in my name. I text back. I said, okay, send me a screenshot of your credit results, right? And I created a video and I said, if you don't know how to email me that, here's a video explaining how. Show me the proof, right? The person said, well, I watched the video, right? I just want to know if you offer a refund. I have got to be I would have to have the lowest IQ, right, of anybody you can think of, right? Even water, I have to have a low IQ of water boy to give somebody a refund that cannot email me the proof of their results. Looking at me, I've got to be the most ignorant person, stupid, unintelligent person you will ever meet on the streets. If you think I'm going to give you a refund just because you text me and told me you didn't get results. And see, you know what? People talk about people that help them in credit that are scammers as well. But you know what? You all run game too, honey. Sir, madam, you run game too. Oh man, Queen worked on my credit 3 months. I got these deletions. And let me try to keep that money back. Let me tell you, I love Jesus, but I'm not crazy. You are making me go on the rant. Let me listen. Let's go on to the next hot topic. Let me go on to the next hot topic. Green Eyes said you are funny tonight. I wish I was on that milk. I know, and I'm out of water, and I'm still being funny. I'm telling you, I love Jesus, but I'm not stupid. Yeah, please don't play games with me. You tell me you haven't got results, show me the proof. I'm not out here working on your credit for free for my time and my hours and my results to give you money back. You know? See, you all talk about games. You know, Queen, I went lesson along. They didn't do anything. And Queen, do you have a payment plan? I promise you. No, you won't. Because according, as Marvin Poverty would say, according to your credit score, it has shown that you won't pay accounts as agreed, right? You won't pay your accounts as agreed. So listen, you did that to 10 other people. I can't be the 11th one. Right, and then, you know what, Martin? That's why I started accepting Cash App. Let me go. We're gonna go on the next hot, but this is the hot topic. You are gonna have to listen. Right, you're gonna have to listen to me vent tonight. A person, January, March, April, on Cash App, sent in a dispute from Cash App today. I didn't receive my my consultation, and that's back in the time when it was $75. I sent a screen proof and said, yes, they did. Here's the proof. Here's their credit analysis. They received the services. Let me tell you something. I said, let me go to Cash App. I don't have time for this. And PayPal gives out my personal information anyway and address, and I don't like all that, right? But let's be real. Let's be honest about things, right? Patrick says, our ancestors teach us to create business and stay out of debt. Honey, our ancestors was broke. Our ancestors worked for the United States as slaves for years and then did one payout plan. So your ancestors didn't teach you anything. You know who taught you that? A rich white person named Dave Ramsey, whose net worth is $55 million, right? From teaching you that stuff. That's who taught you that. And who tells you to cut up your credit cards and don't use them, but yet he accepts credit cards as a means of payment for you to buy his books and products that keeps you in poverty, right? So, Patrick, I don't mean any harm, my king. And I'm going to say this in my Michael Jackson voice, with love. But if you want, don't use debt, especially if you're making under $100,000 a year and you don't make the income to invest, and you're giving the government 30% of your hard-earned paycheck, and you will never make the income to invest. If you want a channel that promotes that, go to Minority Mindset and follow Dave Ramsey, right? This is not it. Your ancestors didn't teach you that. They were broke. I mean, just stop making this stuff up. Just stop making this stuff for your ancestors to teach you. No, Dave Ramsey taught you that. And the church taught you that. They taught you in Romans chapter 8, oh, no man, nothing but to love them. And that scripture was totally out of context because they had Jubilee that every 7 years, your debt, you were free of your debt. How could they celebrate Jubilee if people never got in debt? In 2 Kings chapter 4, it tells you about a woman that was in bad debt, consumer debt, right? Her husband had died, left her in debt. Her sons were about to be sold as slaves to the bondsmen. And she used credit. She went and borrowed pots to start a home-based business. And instead of selling her sons to a job to work for another man to pay our bad, or the slave masters to pay our bad debt, right? She got her sons to help her work in a home-based business, which I've been faithfully telling you all to do, because you get $12,400 at the end of the year by the government to hire your kids to work in a home-based business. But no, you want to buy your kids Xbox, Jordans, right? Let them play Fortnite. I want to give my kids everything I didn't have. And you spend more money out of your pockets for your children than you get back for having them. So you know your ancestors did not tell you that. Because you know why I know your ancestors did not tell you that? Because they went to Freedmen banks, right? The slaves went to Freedmen banks and they put their money in Freedmen Bank. You know, the bank had the title Freedmen Bank. And they got robbed of millions of dollars because they wanted money to buy their own property and to invest. Because they had farmed land from their slave masters for hundreds of years, and they knew how to farm land and be agriculturists. So they wanted money from the banks, right? So they can get their own land, their own real estate, right? So they can now work for themselves, and the banks robbed them. So now your ancestors didn't teach you. No, they did. No, they did. They didn't teach you that. Yeah, some people don't know their history. They don't. All right, so what's the next hot topic besides that? Banks. So use those old credit cards, people. Please don't let your credit cards get closed. See what this is. And we got something about Bitcoin and gold. Oh, this was the next hot topic. This is the next hot topic. Trump's $300 unemployment is set to be paid in 34 states so far, right? But the program provides aid for only about a month. Did you all know that? Did you all know that? Isn't that something? Only about a month, people. Okay, Clyde said black soldiers too in Freedmen banks. Eric, I'm glad to have. Thank you, my king. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad you caught live too, right? Thank you so much for tuning in. All right, so let me tell you something. I'm gonna get into this, Jesus, but I have a family member. I won't say who he is because my other family member might be watching live. They might try to hit him up for some money. You all, let me tell you what changed my life. I teach and coach basketball. I love teaching and coaching. That's my purpose. I love, I play sports. Got a full scholarship to college, right? To play basketball, I teach and coach. And it was in May. And they gave us our contracts to sign. Gave us our contracts. And I had, white sheet of paper like this. And I text my uncle. I said, man, this is my contract signed for the school year. I said, Uncle, this is under $50,000. I said, how am I? I said, I love what I do, but I can't take this income. I said, And he said, Tanya, you all know Miss Queen Quitter. My name is Tanya. He said, Tanya, this is my paycheck for last year. He said, you can do better. He sent me a screenshot of that paycheck, people. It was $250,000. Now, $250,000 may not be a lot to you, but that's the largest amount of figures I've seen for someone in my family earning. I decided right then and there, I cannot work for this low amount of wage ever. Ever. I'm too financially intelligent. I'm too smart when it comes to credit. I help too much people. I said, I can't. I love the kids. I love basketball, but I don't love it to make this salary. Well, went through my divorce. Wasn't even about his income. It was about my freedom, right? Wasn't even about that. That was about my freedom. Wanted to see my daughter, see a woman go through a divorce and come out on the better end financially, not the other end, right? Where you're struggling, we got to eat ramen noodles and rice, and she might have to live one day without the lights on and all of that, right? I said, I can't do it anymore. I appreciate him. Now, what he didn't do was say, you know what? I feel so bad for you. What I'm going to do, right, is I'm going to send you, I know you're going through a divorce. I know you're a single mother. He didn't say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you a check for $10,000. I know he didn't do that. He encouraged me. He said, Tanya, you can do better. You're too smart. You're too intelligent. I began to use my knowledge and credit, right? And when my person did my taxes, I don't think he's showing my Social Security number. When he did my taxes, I had my tax return right here, right? See, you all might can't see that. But anyway, okay, you see, this is my tax return. He told me, he said, you know what? Do you understand you're a woman in Mississippi, a single woman, making 6 figures a year? Did everything for me. Look, I don't take excuses. I don't take them from my basketball girls. I don't take them from you all. I don't. Erase excuses, expect excellence. Now, I will, for 2 or 3 minutes, listen at your explanation. I won't listen to your excuse. Well, Queen, let me explain it. This is why my credit is this. This is something happened in my life. I had some health issues. These medical bills hit me. I didn't have it. The collections hit me. Blase. I went through a divorce. I signed joint. I didn't know. I signed for my family member co-sign. Listen, I will listen to an explanation for 2 or 3 minutes, but I won't listen to an excuse for 60 seconds. Erase excuses, expect excellence. And the explanation should not be an excuse. So, Patrick said that, let me see, can I find it? Let me see, can I find it? Because I don't want to quote him wrong. I don't think I can find it, but I know I saw it. And I'm not going to put too much energy in that, right? It's too much positivity going on this. He said he was taught economics by a white man. Well, why did you say your ancestors taught you this? Let me tell you, one of the reasons why I got a divorce, I was married to a professional liar. You can't, You gotta, I can catch a person so quick when they come on my live stream with these inaccuracies. I can catch you so quick, right? You said our ancestors taught us not to get in debt, but now you're saying you was taught economics by a white man. So if you was taught by the master or a white man, then you shouldn't be struggling financially, right? So what ancestors taught you not to get in debt? Claude, my king, thank you so much for the $4.99 super chat. Right? You all are terrible. It's you all that's being terrible tonight. It's you all, right? Oh my God, y'all, it's you all, right? Let's move on to the hot topic. Oh Lord, we gotta go back to Trump. Oh, listen, as we say in Mississippi, woo child. That's a Mississippi phrase for you all, woo child. Oh my God, Trump's 300 unemployment benefit is set to be paid in 34 states, but the program this is August 31st, another hot topic, only may provide aid for about a month. Most states have been approved to distribute $300 in weekly federal unemployment aid, right, under President Trump's aid program. It would be $400, right, in a few states, since they were given the option to provide an extra or an additional $100 in weekly benefits. 34 states are scheduled to begin paying out the money in the coming weeks, which includes, so if you're watching this live on the replay, if you're from California, Florida, Iowa, New York, and God knows California, Florida, and New York really need it, right? Ohio and Oregon, right? However, most states, so these are the states, those states are the 34 states which are beginning to schedule to pay out first, right, or in the next upcoming week. Most states have been approved to take part in President Trump's unemployment aid program implementation under the executive order he signed earlier this month. States have until September the 10th, right, to apply for lost wages assistance under the federal FEMA Emergency Management Agency is working alongside state workforce agencies to distribute payments retroactive. Retroactive, people, just simply means back pay, right? You have some people who back pay will begin August 1st. This back pay with some people equal up to 3 weeks, $900. That's great news. So the weekly federal supplement is $300, but states were given the option to kick in another $100, right, under Trump's administration. A provision of this or a disclaimer of this also mandates, right, that you must receive at least or be eligible to receive at least $100 in weekly benefits to qualify, right? Now, what does this do? This excludes most people that work part-time, or they say gig workers, right? So unfortunately, if you're a part-time worker, you may not qualify. However, listen at this. Experts say the program provides only 6 weeks of unemployment aid. Once states get it up and running, which is expected to be in September at the earliest for many. So people, if you are, right, a recipient of this, then please know that this could expire in October, right? Use that money, flip it to produce more money. Flip it, do something with it that's going to put you in an investment position, right, to make more money. I don't care if it's going to position you to get credit, to fix your credit, so you can use the bank's money, other people's money to invest, right? But whatever you do at this time, and I know you may be saying with Queen, right? I have back payments to do. I'm trying to keep my rent, trying to keep that. I understand. But you need to take some of that to make more. You need to take some of that and plant it in something, right? In which you can get more money. I read an article on yesterday. It said 3 weeks. Now they're saying 6 weeks. So let's just say it's going to be 6 weeks for the maximum, right? 6 weeks for the maximum. Shalita says, what I think about Fund and Grow. Honestly, I don't know. I never heard of it. I don't know what Fund and Grow is. So, right. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, I appreciate you all, everyone that took out the time to get out the live chat and to hit the thumbs up, whether you're watching this live right now or on the replay. Really, really so thankful for that. So let's get on Bitcoin, another hot topic, right? Let's look at where Bitcoin is at now. Did you all know, for example, Miss Freeman, thank you so much, Queen, for the $5 super chat. Thanks everyone that gave the super chat and supporting the channel, right? I think I missed a person here. From Georgia, hello, coming in, Dorothy, Miss Jones. Thank you so much, Queen, for the $5 super chat. So let's get on this another hot topic, right? Share screen. An investment option that I have myself, Bitcoin, right? Nears 12,000. Listen at this. This what really stood out to me. That's why I wanted to share this. As the dollar declines, people, to a 20-month low. Today's date on this article, September 1st, 2020. You all, let me tell you something. I know we have people that say cash is king, but you have to put your cash in something right now, right? That's going to exchange to give you a rate of return if you are not using cash to pay your essential bills and expenses. I hate to be, no, I don't hate, because I'm trying to help you, right? I'm not going to say I hate to do this, but I'm going to help you. If you have money saved in a banking account right now in the form of savings, you are basically lending the banks money. You're basically giving them a loan, right? A quote I put on my Facebook: interest rates on savings are extremely low, right? They're almost non-existent. So your savings account is actually a loan to the bank. It's a free loan. So let's see what Bitcoin is at. It was up 2% on the day. And just know this is not a promotion to tell you to invest in Bitcoin, because honestly, it's a bit of a high cost investment for most middle class. Right now it's up 2.38%. It was at 12,000 today, but it's at $11,906 as of right now. In 5 minutes, it may drop again. It's just how volatile Bitcoin is, right? That's just how volatile it is. However, there are other cryptocurrencies, and I don't like to give financial advice and et cetera, right? But I'm just, say this because I don't want anyone to make any decisions based off any of my advice as far as investing, and it puts you in a negative place financially. But if you were to ask me, just because of where we are in this economy, right? If you were to ask me, Queen, what's your platform for investing in your cryptocurrency? I do Coinbase, right? I do Coinbase, and I have a backup ledger that I also have in my Coinbase. I think it's very secure. And I also do cryptocurrency. There are some blockchains on crypto.com, right, that you can't get on Coinbase. So this is my Coinbase. I think it is like a $10 referral link, but these are the most trusted platforms, right? I know there's other cryptocurrencies that's trading, and if you want to trade that, trading at high levels, DeFi, things like that. I really don't get into trading just because I don't have the time, right? But that's That's the Coinbase link. I know it's kind of long. Maybe you can copy and paste. But I really don't have the time, right, to trade every day because I also do credit. I enroll people for the home-based business, right? Sandra says she made a payment. Okay. Sandra, I'll write you down. Because sometimes people pay and they don't put their email address in the Cash App. Okay, you said you did not put your email at first, but then I did put in there. All right, just send me an email right now at LD at Fix My Credit and just put your name, Sandra. I remember it. And I'll send that first thing in the morning. Your silver stacking report. Silver is another great investment. It's still, and I'll get on that. It's the next hot topic. But I do Coinbase for certain coins. That's the link. And some people may not have that, right? For Bitcoin, but we're just discussing the hot topics, right? And then crypto.com for some of the blockchains and altcoins. But just know the dollar is depreciating, right? The dollar is depreciating or is losing its value, which means your dollar, your index is able to purchase less. So it will be wise to put it in an exchange of something to invest in so you don't lose gains. But when you convert it back over, right, you're gaining, right, at a higher percentage. So the US dollar has continued to fall, creating a further buying pressure on Bitcoin and other safe havens such as silver and commodities, which is silver and gold and things of that matter. And so cryptocurrency, although it's very volatile, it has its 5-month trends has outperformed the dollar, which has had a 10% drop. And so, I really believe in silver for the poor working middle. Just look at these numbers. Listen, today, Bitcoin is 2.38%. Ethereum, 8.74%. Right? Today gains XRP, which is volatile as well, but it gains 6.7%. Chainlink, right? 3.31%. And so be very familiar with CoinDesk. If you're not a Bitcoin, $11,000 person, look, you have Ethereum here, you have XRP, you have Chainlink, right? That's outperforming and that's doing well in the cryptocurrency market as well. So that's another hot topic that I wanted you all to be familiar with and to understand. All right, Stacy Queen says, you say don't pay credit cards, but then you say to work on your credit. Sorry, I'm confused. I didn't say don't pay credit cards, like not to pay them. What I said was if I had different debts at this time, right, credit card debt would be the least of my worries because there are 3 different ways to discharge a credit card debt that you can do without paying it. It'll be found in bankruptcy. The company can write it off as a charge off, right? Which means they charge it off, they save in taxes, right? And then they may send you a 1099-C for you to file as taxable income, right? And or you can negotiate, right? If you have 6 months of non-payment, if the company does not write it off as bad debt and they want to pursue you to take you to court to pay the credit card bill, you can oftentimes negotiate for pennies on the dollar, right? If you don't have the income. However, if you are a person that does not have, let's say, credit card debt to worry about, and you have some other negatives on your credit report, like sometimes it's just inquiries for some people. They need to get some inquiries out because they're trying to get approved for business credit, right? So that entails or consists of fixing your credit. Maybe they have some pop-up collections. Then yes, get your credit fixed. My message is, and still is, not to pay unsecured credit card debt, right? If you don't have a certain amount of money in the bank right now to make sure that you pay for your essential bills, which is your mortgage and or your rent and food and groceries. Because at this point, especially if let me see. Let me pull up this article. If you don't have money, it was just 1 out of 4 Americans that didn't have $400 saved, right? So if you don't have money saved for groceries and rent and et cetera, then yes, I'm telling anybody, why would you worry about a credit card debt? Now, the only thing that would come with those 3 decisions, right, if they happen to you, or consequences, is that you won't be able to leverage credit, right, to invest. We are in the greatest wealth transfer. The rich and wealthy love recessions, whether they're Democrats or Republicans. They love them. Everything goes on sale: real estate, wholesale, right? Except retail, cryptocurrency, gold and silver is about to take off, right? And so they love recessions. The rich get richer in recessions, Democrats and Republicans alike, all of your elected officials. And so I would rather you focus on paying a mortgage or rent and being able to buy groceries and food, right, rather than stress and worry over unsecured debt. Because no one knows at this point in time if anybody's job is secure. Listen, I work at the only thing that I still get a W-2 for, right, is for my basketball teaching and coaching. Let's see. Okay, I just got an email from Mr. Cage, so I flagged that. And I'll check that in the morning. Sandra, don't forget to send me your email as well. And so I tell people, listen, unfortunately, this may not be the season for you to use your credit to invest. You might just, and I hate it. But if you're a person who don't know your job status, right, within the next 3, 6, or 12 months, nobody's job is secure. And you're worried about, having 0 credit cards when they're cutting credit limits right now. For example, what if someone paid out their Capital One debt only to have Capital One to slash their credit limit? That might have been thousands of dollars they could have saved if their job is secure. That money possibly could have went into investing in cryptocurrency, gold, silver, a home-based business, Forex, stocks, right? That money could have been invested 10 times over. So unless you know, there's 2 things no one knows right now. Number one, if the bank's gonna keep your credit cards open. And number 2, if your job is secure. So no, I'm not telling you, listen. All I'm saying is credit card debt is unsecured debt, and there's so many different ways to discharge that legally, right? Will it leave maybe a black mark on your credit report if you do it through bankruptcy, or if it's a charge off? Yes, but credit can always be reversed, repaired, and revision. That's all I'm saying, right? And I will prefer if you had your essential bills, your rent, and a mortgage secured for at least a year, right? Natalie said, What advice would you give me for I pay my car note? Actually, bankruptcy is another tool that I tell people, especially with car notes, because if it's a dependable vehicle, right? If it's a dependable vehicle, that car or vehicle or truck or SUV, right, can be written off at bankruptcy. And let's say you just got into a bad loan, right? You're paying double-digit interest, and you can file it in bankruptcy, have lower monthly payments, right? Whatever the recent Blue Book value of the vehicle is, it will be refinanced, and whatever the lowest interest rate on used vehicle, no matter what your credit score, it will be refinanced at that current at this current interest rate. However, if you're saying, Queen, even if I filed in bankruptcy, right, I've lost job, I don't have income, I won't be able to afford it, well, then let them come get it. Repossessions are taking a while, more time than normal, right? You can get off some weeks or months before it's actually taken from you and repoed or whatever. And in that time, maybe you can find a job. But other than that, if you can't find a job, right, because this is not a employer's, economy, right? It's not an employer's economy. My next advice to you is let's work from home and make money from home, from a home-based business. And, try to Uber any other place you need to go to make groceries, et cetera, or maybe pay someone who don't have a job to come pick you up to help you run errands and start making money from home through the home-based business, right? So if you want to know how to make money safe and securely from your home, send me a text. And it's kind of late into the night, so I won't respond tomorrow, but just text me. A lot of people in our home-based business are winning, making money from home. They're not worried about the health pandemic, surrounding themselves around people, and it's just a small investment. So just text me HBB to 601-720-2063, right? Because now people are more receptive than ever about working from home, right? Working from home. So Stacy says, I couldn't pay credit card, got a letter saying it was sold to collections. I have a home base. I need to focus to link with employment check. If it was sold to collections, then if it's hitting your credit report and you want to keep a safe credit, profile, you can always dispute it on your credit report. Just because it's sold collections doesn't mean it's reporting accurately. And also, once you receive a letter from the collection agency, right, then you can require them to validate the debt in a way that you will legally owe nothing as well. So don't think that every time a debt is sold to collections that that's a bad thing. Really, me, myself, right, I am always grateful when a debt is sold to collections because they can never validate the debt properly like they're supposed to. And I don't have any notes. Oh, yes, I do. This is what validation look like. God must be with you all night. This is because it was right here. All right. Debt collectors have to show proof that they have an agreement with the original creditor, right, to collect any alleged debt from you. So that's the first thing a proper debt validation requires and requests, that they show you proof they have agreement with the original creditor, right? A lot of people don't know that and they don't know how to request it. So this is dropping some gems. And thank for all the people that super chat. Your super chat is well worth it. This is not helping you. This is helping the people that that's tuning in that you gave your super chat for. The second thing that you need to know about debt collections and legal validation, right, is that if the debt collector, right, does not have a copy of the signed contract, but you all know this, they do not have a copy of the signed contract where you agreed to pay the charges. How many times have you gotten a medical collection in the mail, and the only thing they have from the clinic or the hospital is the date that you came in to receive the services, right? And that's it. And maybe your HIPAA laws. There's no signed contractual agreement to where you agree to pay the charges. The two most, the biggest debt collector firms I deal with is often Midland Funding and Portfolio Associates, right? So a lot of time people Google free debt collectors letters, and they just said, show me you're able to collect in my state. Show me I owe the amount that you say you owe, and they send people a bill, right? And that is not proper debt validation under the law of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. All right, so let me read this. Mimosa says, I'm renting a car, $1,000 a month. You're renting a car for that much, Mimosa? What type of car is it? $1,000 a month. I hope you can sleep in it and live in it. Yeah, listen, if you're renting that for $1,000 a month, that's a big liability. Let that go, right? You can do better than that. You can get that repossession deleted for less than that. Stacy, I couldn't pay credit. Okay. No, that's too much. That's too much. Let that go. Let me read some of these comments. Okay, then they said, it is do I think it's a good time to buy a house? Let's look at that. I personally will wait until next year. Think you're going to find the better deals in next year, right? If you're looking to buy a home. So the Fed takes new approach to inflation. So what does that mean for your savings, credit card debt, and your mortgage rate, right? You talked about this time, good time to buy a house. This article was released today. Low interest rates may be here to stay, but not for all financial products, right? So the Fed made some big changes to its policy in years following and extended. The central bank has revised its approach to inflation. The new approach won't mean that consumers will save money across the board, right? Actually, the new strategy could divide the landscape into various financial products. So here's a list of some things that will affect you. Now it's saying that Americans will save on credit card interest because of this new policy, right? That's good news. Credit cards, your annual percentage rates should go down or remain low, right, in the future. But however, the card's annual percentage rate is still high, but they're the lowest they've been in years. And so thanks to the Fed, they're saying that interest rates or credit cards interest should remain low, right? The same is true for short-term debt, including home equity lines of credit. So if you have a HELOC, some personal loans, your interest rate should stay low. The Feds cut the funds twice, so just know that this now is the time for cheap debt to use it to invest, right? However, people, it's saying the average APR credit cards is at 16%, 16.03%, which is down from 17.68% a year ago. which only save you about $8 a month, right? People, I get credit cards at 0% interest rate. I use credit cards, usually for that, for my real estate. If you're paying double-digit interest, 16%, 10, 11, then we need to address that, and you should get lower interest rates. Just know too that if you are a person, right, that's saving money in a regular savings account, you won't get much income on that as well. So you really would ask yourself, is it worth me saving money in the banks where I'm giving them a free loan, or should I convert my cash into an asset that will increase in value, right? Tangible assets like silver is still under $30 an ounce, right? Gold is about $2,200, those commodities, because they are linked to money, cash, and currency. And they're always used to reset the accounting system. And the dollar is depreciating, right? Other assets, we just talked about cryptocurrencies, tangible real assets, real estates, et cetera, et cetera. So let's go on to mortgage rates. Long-term interest rates will be least effective, right? And the Fed's doing this. So just know that you're in debt right now. Mortgage debt is dead cheap. I would highly advise for you all to look for fixer-uppers. Look for things that maybe that go into bankruptcy. Unfortunately, a lot of bankruptcies will happen this year. Look for deals and steals on mortgages because it is dirt cheap right now, right? If you want to be a home buyer, going now into 2021 is the best time to do that, right? Carla said Portfolio took over my home loan to get me to pay credit card debt. Portfolio recovery? I never heard of that, Carla. I never heard of a debt collector taking over a home loan. I would have to see who your mortgage broker is. Mimosa said my 2005 Acura transmission died, so I'm in work for a new car. If it's not working, don't, find you something else. Let that $1,000, that's too much for a liability, right? Lady Life says, Portfolio just sent me a copy of the last statement from the original creditor. Bottom line, it says not an attempt to collect the debt. I'm confused. How am I supposed to respond? I don't know. I don't answer those questions unless I'm able to see the writing myself. And I don't look at those debt collectors unless you pay for analysis, right? Because right now, I don't know what all that letter is saying. I really don't, but I do. I have this in front of me. If you all saw my desk, it is so crowded with paperwork, so you'll be glad that I'm going right to this. But this is for a client that they're investing in my services to dispute their debt collector for them. And I'm gonna try to hide that name. But it's from Calvary, right? Debt collector, Calvary, and it states Calvary Portfolio Services LLC acknowledges your dispute with the above reference account. In order to provide you with the best customer service, we have closed the account mentioned above. Our collection attempts have ceased and will not restart. This is a person that paid me to dispute their debt collector for them. So you all can hold this. And I wanted to hide their name and address for confidential purposes. So when you all are asking me to, how am I supposed to respond and all that, then I'm just, this is not something I answer for free. If someone else had to pay, then it would be hypocritical for me to just go on my live stream and answer that. Miss Deja said I got scammed last time. I don't know who you got scammed by, or if in reference to your credit. Okay, I got you. $89 for 6 months and nothing changed. Just know I will be upfront and honest with you all. This is not a done for you. This is a done with you, right? I have the videos and everything provided. But when I ask you to email me your credit reports, to scan and email me with the creditors and communicate with me, then you have to do that, right? You have to do that. And I'm not saying that there are not people out here that take money and don't do the credit that they perform, but I'm just telling you how you're going to get results with me, right? Don't send me continuously your username and log in and say, hey, log in. Or, I haven't heard from the credit agencies. First thing I'm going to ask you is, do you have a Credit Karma account to check your Equifax and TransUnion updates, because they update every 7 days? And have you created a free account with Experian, right? And I have a video message showing people how to check those online accounts, right? And so, but you know what? To me, that's the easy part. I do all the brain work and the leg work and the challenging and continuously fighting on your behalf, right? To improve your credit, right? So last hot topic, and then I'm signing off. I think you're welcome, because I want people to know exactly what their role or responsibility in working together to improve your credit. So this is the one Patrick brought up, the evictions. Trump's new executive order, this is released today. Contemporary halt evictions for 40 million renters. President Donald Trump plans to introduce an executive order that will provide eviction moratorium for renters, meaning that for a specific period of time, landlords won't be able to evict tenants who don't pay rent. Now, this article from Forbes says plan to. This is not done. And as of today, millions of Americans are being evicted, right? The order will be effectively immediately by the president until the end of this year, 2020, under the new moratorium. The CDC, Center for the Disease Control and Prevention, will use its quarantine authority to protect renters from being evicted from their homes, potentially becoming homeless and spreading the novel of the Rona. Some states and cities have implemented their own renter protections during this pandemic, but the moratorium would lay out a nationwide blanket for a nationwide relief. The planned executive order is Trump's administrative attempt to prevent a severe wave of homeless due to pandemic, right? A survey of over 4,000 Americans by Apartment List found that nearly 1/3 of renters missed their July payment. So this is something that's in the plan, in the works, not something that's done. However, I've had heard stories of landlords who were really taking doors and windows off and et cetera, to people who they could not evict, right? They couldn't evict them, but they made their living habitations terrible. So, if you don't have a window or you don't have a, doors and et cetera, then it's still difficult, or you don't, make your living conditions inhabitable. Queen, what's the rule of thumb? How much you pay a month on a mortgage? much of your paycheck, use your percentage. Um, you know what, you all, I'm tired. It's been 2 hours. I'm brain freeze, but I don't know. My story is, and I'll be honest, if I had a Achilles, um, one of my weakness about teaching this in financial strength, I don't I don't really have a percentage based thing, right? All I know was I had a 2 bedroom apartment, right? And that rent was, I think, that was bringing to $1,000. This was back in 2008. And so when the housing crash happened, right, got into a home. It was what I liked. It was the setup I liked. The house was in foreclosure after 2008. We found it for a great deal, 3.75%, and the rent on the payment on the home was $1,275. So it was only like $175 of what we were already paying to rent. So I don't have a rule of thumb. You know, there may be a Dave Ramsey thing. I know he specifies a certain percent from your paycheck to pay towards your rent, but that's not really my area. I don't tell people, let this percentage of your paycheck. What I do is I help people find $200 to $600 more out of their paycheck, and where they're not overpaying in taxes, right? So they don't live paycheck to paycheck through a home-based business, and they can keep more of the money that they make, so they won't be in negative cash flow, or they won't have to be broke and work 2 jobs. I've never seen a person that worked 2 jobs who wasn't broke, right? And so I don't really believe in hustling backwards, right? Even Dave Ramsey himself admitted that he's filed a bankruptcy. So if bankruptcy was a financial tool for him, then it's why isn't, I just don't, what I really hate about bankruptcies is people that I see filing bankruptcies and they have nothing but charge cards, department store cards and credit cards, nothing of asset, nothing of value, right? On a bankruptcy, or when they're using credit cards for liabilities and they don't use credit cards to invest in assets, right? So, hey, you all, I'm tired, but I really did enjoy. I gave all I had of my energy, your jokes, your laugh, tuning into this live stream. I'm here to help everyone during these economic hardships, and but they're going to be economic prosperity shifts for some of you all, right? And good night to you all as well. And here's my ending. Here's to your peace and prosperity, your credit and your cash flow, your health and your wealth. Listen, Queen of Credit. I'm going to do this for the Wakanda Queen of Credit out. You all have a great night. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. I do pop-up live streams all the time, right? If you want to continue to be educated and informed and learn how to create, use your credit to create cash flow, subscribe to this channel, hit that subscribe button, and hit the bell notification button when I go live. Hey, you all have a great night. You're welcome. Let me put this comment up. Martin, just making help her, says they have a rent a jalopy in Detroit. I assume that it was National. Google and see if there's any way. Okay, so maybe that will help, right? Maybe that will help her. Thank you all.